most interesting statement from Judge Merchan just a few moments ago before he left the bench was acknowledging Trump's election win. He was saying, you know, ordinary citizens don't get these kind of legal protections. It's the office of the presidency that is bestowing these to the office holder. And he said it is the citizenry of this nation that recently decided that you should once again receive the benefits of those protections.
That's CNN saying ordinary citizens don't get the protections of the president. That is, they don't get the immunity protection that Trump enjoys. What they missed is that ordinary citizens don't have these kinds of witch hunts run against them for being the top Republican candidate like Trump did. CNN missed that one. But we didn't, right here on John Mike Keene, as we go into Trump's sentence that is purely political. Here's Western Lensman over on Twitter. The moment the mask slips, New York prosecutor Joshua Steinglass says sentencing of Trump is to cement his status as a convicted felon.
Sentencing the defendant permits this court to enter judgment to cement the defendant's status as a convicted felon.
Whoops, that was the whole purpose, was just to cement his status as a convicted felon, and his punishment was nothing. No fine, no prison, no community service. They let him go.
While he pursues whatever appeals he intends to pursue. And it gives full effect and respect to the jury's verdict.
The jury's verdict might be given respect. That is, they're trying to hold on to that verdict of guilty without punishing him further.
So he will appeal. He will appeal to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court will take the case. Once the case is taken on the merits, I think it will be reversed if lower courts don't already reverse the case. So this is an instance of judicial manipulation, game playing, Alice in Wonderland justice by Judge Merchan. He had one goal. He wants to have one of those trophies, you know, hunters have, which have the animal that they killed hanging from their living room. He wanted a trophy with the head of Donald Trump that can be shown on it to everybody, all of his friends. He's the guy who sent Donald Trump into the status of being a convicted felon. I have some news. I will never call Donald Trump a convicted felon.
I go back to, it's the jury itself that makes this whole case a sham. Juan Merchan said they followed normal procedure. Well, number one, jury selection was a fraud. They were all anti-Trump. If you're going to pull them from Manhattan, which votes 80% for Biden, 92% of their donations go to Democrats when donations are made, that is not a fair jury. That jury being biased, Trump did not get a neutral, unbiased jury. That means this verdict is a scam. Not only that, but the venue itself should have been moved. They never should have allowed this thing to take place in Manhattan, knowing it was hostile against Trump, just as an entire venue. They should have moved it to a neutral venue where he could have gotten justice. And because of that, everything that followed, their refusal to change venue and their jury selection that are not a jury of Trump's peers, but a jury of Trump's political opponents, means everything that followed was not justice. It was biased, and it makes a mockery of our justice system.
Remember the way the case was pitched to the jury, and that this has been echoed by Judge Merchan ever since. What they said is that this crime, which is normally a misdemeanor, this falsification of business records, here it was a felony because Trump was trying to cover up another crime. And the crime they said he was trying to cover up was theft of the 2016 presidential election. Yeah. Stealing the most important office in the world, the most powerful office in the American government. And now they say, you know what that's worth? Unconditional discharge. No jail, no probation, no fine. And I think what that demonstrates is they were never serious about what they were accusing him of.
What's interesting is that the crimes were trumped up, the charges were trumped up, even the laws were trumped up, and that the president's name is Trump.
No, you can start with the fact that he was charged at all. I mean, everybody else who looked at the fact pattern took a pass except Alvin Bragg. You took a misdemeanor, you resurrected it, you put a little makeup on it, you call it a felony. This is what I find funny, though, John. The prosecutor is arguing for the death penalty. I mean, if what you just read is what they're saying to the judge, that's a death penalty argument. Meanwhile, you're agreeing he shouldn't even be on probation. Those two don't go together. You can't make an argument that you've shown disdain for the system and whatever else he's arguing. And oh, by the way, we think the proper punishment for that is nothing.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
No probation, but Trump is a felon. But we all know he's a fino. He's a felon in name only. Trump is innocent, and New York's justice system is guilty. I'm John Mike Keene.